The internet is on fire tonight, and fans are struggling to process the wave of shocking reports suddenly resurfacing across entertainment circles. According to multiple online sources and gossip platforms, new claims are being discussed again after what is being described as leaked footage allegedly involving 50 Cent and Big Meech's brother began circulating quietly among insiders. To be clear, this is commentary on reports and rumors that are gaining traction, not confirmation of real events. Still, the way this story is unfolding has left audiences stunned and glued to their screens. Fans are shocked by how quickly these discussions exploded. What started as whispers on niche forums suddenly turned into a full-blown online storm, with people dissecting every frame of the alleged footage and every past interview connected to the BMF legacy. Emotions ran high as commentators claimed the footage had reopened old accusations that many believed were buried years ago. Some online voices are asking whether history is repeating itself, while others insist this is just another example of how powerful names attract controversy no matter the truth. That tension intensified when 50 Cent's name was pulled into the conversation, not through a direct statement, but through reactions fans believe were subtle and intentional. Cryptic social media activity, vague captions, and carefully timed posts instantly became fuel for speculation. Supporters argue that silence can speak louder than words, while critics question whether these moments are calculated responses to the resurfacing claims. Meanwhile, Big Meech's brother has become the center of heated online debates. According to reports being discussed, the leaked footage allegedly triggered renewed accusations that had once faded from public attention. Family supporters quickly pushed back, saying narratives are being twisted for clicks and attention. Others argue that unanswered questions naturally resurface when new material appears, especially when it involves figures tied to such a controversial legacy. The family was left divided in public discussions, with loyalty clashing against curiosity. Some fans demanded clarity, others demanded respect, and many simply watched in disbelief as old claims, new footage, and powerful names collided in real time, with no official confirmations, no clear explanations, and no unified narrative. This situation has become a perfect storm of mystery, emotion, and speculation. And as more people start paying attention, one question keeps echoing louder than the rest. What happens next if these reports refuse to fade away? The moment reports about alleged leaked footage began circulating across entertainment circles, the conversation instantly shifted from curiosity to tension. Online gossip pages and fan forums started buzzing with claims that old accusations were being discussed again, not because of confirmed events, but because of what some described as newly surfaced material being passed around privately. According to commentary spreading online, this footage allegedly triggered memories of long-standing rumors tied to the BMF legacy, pulling familiar names back into a spotlight they had not occupied in this way for years. Fans are shocked by how fast these discussions took over time, turning quiet speculation into loud public debate within hours. Sources, quoted by entertainment commentators, suggested that the footage itself was not publicly released but described through second-hand accounts, which only added fuel to the fire. Some online voices claimed the clips showed tense conversations and emotionally charged moments that people interpreted in different ways. Others pushed back immediately, warning that interpretations without context can be dangerous. Emotions ran high as supporters and critics clashed, each side accusing the other of either ignoring history or exploiting it for attention. As the conversation grew, 50 Cent's name became a central point of discussion, not because of any direct confirmation, but because of his past public connections to stories linked with the BMF narrative. Fans began revisiting old interviews, lyrics, and social media moments, trying to connect dots that may or may not even exist. According to online chatter, his recent online behavior, including vague posts and carefully timed reactions, was seen by some as intentional, while others argued that people were projecting meaning where none was intended. Big Meech's brother also found himself pulled into the storm of speculation. Commentary across platforms suggested that resurfaced claims were less about new accusations and more about unresolved questions that had never fully disappeared. Family supporters reportedly expressed frustration, stating that old narratives are constantly recycled whenever a familiar name trends again. One fan commented during a live stream discussion that it feels like the past is never allowed to rest, especially when powerful legacies are involved. The family was left divided in online conversations, with loyalty clashing against curiosity. Some voices insisted that discussing rumors tied to such serious topics is irresponsible without verified facts. Others argued that when reports emerge, even as commentary, people naturally want to talk about them. This divide created emotionally charged spaces where arguments escalated quickly, often shifting from discussion to personal attacks between fans defending their chosen side. Entertainment commentators began framing the situation as another example of how leaked material, even when unconfirmed, can reshape public narratives overnight. According to these discussions, the alleged footage reopened conversations that many believed were settled or forgotten. Emotions ran high as people questioned why certain stories resurface repeatedly while others fade away. Some suggested that timing plays a major role, especially when names connected to influential figures trend simultaneously. Rumors also circulated that individuals close to the situation were privately frustrated by how quickly speculation turned into assumed truth in some corners of the internet. One unnamed source quoted by a gossip channel claimed that people forget how damaging rumors can be, especially when they involve families who have already lived under intense scrutiny for years. Although these statements were never officially verified, they added another emotional layer to the unfolding commentary. As discussions continued, fans reportedly noticed how quickly social media algorithms amplified the most dramatic interpretations. Clips from old interviews were reshared with new captions, making them appear connected to the current rumors even when they were recorded years ago. This blending of timelines confused many viewers, leading some to believe new revelations were being made when, in reality, they were seeing recycled material framed through a new lens. Within fan spaces, heated arguments broke out over responsibility. Some insisted that audiences should wait for clear confirmation before engaging with such serious topics. Others argued that commentary culture thrives on discussion, not conclusions. Emotions ran high during live chats, where people spoke passionately about loyalty, truth, and the emotional toll these rumors take on families connected to controversial histories. The situation reportedly became even more intense when a few popular commentary channels claimed that insiders were warning about potential fallout if speculation continued unchecked. According to these channels, the fear was not legal consequences, but reputational damage that lingers long after rumors fade. Fans are shocked by how quickly entertainment discussions can cross into deeply personal territory, especially when real people are involved. Some supporters of Big Meech's family argued that the resurfacing claims ignore years of effort to move forward and focus on growth. They emphasized that commentary should not be confused with confirmation. Meanwhile, critics claimed that unanswered questions naturally resurface when new material is discussed, even if that material is only rumored. This clash of perspectives created a constant push and pull that kept the topic trending longer than expected. 50 Cent's influence on public conversation remained undeniable. Even without direct statements, his name alone seemed to intensify reactions. Fans debated whether his silence was strategic or simply unrelated to the situation. Some believed that not addressing rumors allows speculation to grow, while others argued that responding only legitimizes baseless claims. This disagreement played out publicly, adding another dramatic layer to the unfolding narrative. As hours turned into days, the tone of online discussion began shifting from shock to exhaustion. Some fans expressed concern about how easily serious allegations become entertainment talking points. Others admitted that curiosity kept them watching updates, despite discomfort. Emotions ran high as people reflected on the consequences of rumor-driven narratives, especially when they involve histories already filled with controversy and pain. By the end of these initial waves of discussion, one thing became clear across entertainment spaces. Even without confirmed events, the power of alleged footage and resurfaced claims was enough to reopen old wounds, divide audiences, and dominate conversations. The story was no longer just about what was rumored to exist, but about how quickly speculation can become its own reality in the court of public opinion. As the online conversation continued growing, the tone of discussion began to shift from shock toward deeper emotional reactions. People were no longer just reacting to the idea of leaked footage. They were questioning motives, timing, and the impact these resurfaced claims could have on everyone involved. Entertainment commentators started pointing out that whenever powerful names collide in rumors, the story often takes on a life of its own. Fans are shocked by how quickly speculation transformed into firm opinions, even though no official confirmations ever appeared. Within fan communities, emotions ran high as people began choosing sides. Some defended 50 Cent, arguing that his name was being pulled into the conversation simply because of his influence and history. In entertainment storytelling, others believed that his past comments and public persona made it inevitable that people would read meaning into every move he makes. This divide created heated debates, where supporters accused critics of exaggeration, and critics accused supporters of blind loyalty. At the same time, Big Meech's brother became a focal point of sympathy and suspicion, depending on who was speaking. According to commentary circulating online, some fans felt the resurfacing claims unfairly targeted family members who have already lived under intense public judgment. Others argued that when leaked material is discussed, even hypothetically, it naturally invites renewed scrutiny. The family was left divided in online narratives, with some voices urging respect and others demanding answers to questions they feel were never resolved. Entertainment analysts began highlighting how the idea of leaked footage carries a unique emotional charge. Even without public release, the phrase alone suggests secrecy, hidden truths, and suppressed information. Commentators noted that this psychological effect often pushes audiences to imagine worst-case scenarios. Emotions ran high as people filled in gaps with assumptions, creating stories more dramatic than anything officially discussed. Social media platforms played a major role in escalating the situation. Short clips, edited screenshots, and out-of-context quotes began circulating widely, each framed as potential evidence supporting one interpretation or another. Fans are shocked by how fast these fragments traveled, often reaching people who had little prior knowledge of the BMF legacy. This expansion of audience brought in fresh voices, many of whom reacted purely based on headlines rather than deeper understanding. Some longtime followers of the BMF story expressed frustration, saying the resurfacing claims ignored years of nuance and complexity. They argued that reducing such a complicated history to rumor-driven commentary was unfair and harmful. Others countered that public figures connected to controversial legacies must expect ongoing discussion, especially when new reports, even speculative ones, appear. The emotional impact extended beyond fans to commentators themselves. Livestream hosts admitted feeling conflicted about covering the story, knowing the difference between discussing reports and reinforcing damaging narratives can be thin. One host reportedly said during a broadcast that talking about rumors feels uncomfortable, but ignoring what people are already discussing feels dishonest. This internal struggle mirrored what many viewers felt as they continued following updates. Despite mixed emotions, 50 Cent's silence continued to be interpreted in multiple ways. Some fans argued that if the rumors were baseless, addressing them directly could shut them down. Others insisted that responding would only amplify the story. This disagreement fueled further debate, with people projecting intentions onto actions that may not have been intentional at all. Emotions ran high, as silence itself became a subject of analysis. Meanwhile, supporters of Big Meech's brother reportedly shared messages emphasizing humanity and personal growth. They reminded audiences that families connected to public legacies are still families, affected by speculation in very real ways. These messages resonated with some viewers, while others dismissed them as attempts to control the narrative. The family was left divided, not just internally, but in the way the public chose to see them. Entertainment writers began framing the situation as a lesson in how modern media cycles operate. According to their commentary, stories no longer need confirmation to spread widely, they only need intrigue. The combination of leaked footage claims, familiar names, and unresolved history proved irresistible to audiences. Fans are shocked by how quickly attention shifted from questioning reports to debating imagined scenarios. As the days passed, some fans reported feeling fatigue from the constant speculation. They questioned whether the conversation was actually uncovering anything meaningful, or simply recycling old pain for entertainment. Others admitted that despite discomfort, they kept checking for updates, drawn in by the suspense and uncertainty. Emotions ran high as people struggled between curiosity and conscience. The tension also highlighted generational differences among fans. Younger viewers, encountering the story for the first time, reacted with raw curiosity, while older followers who remembered past controversies responded with caution. This clash of perspectives added another layer to the debate, as each group accused the other of misunderstanding the situation. Throughout all of this, the lack of concrete information remained unchanged. No footage was officially released, no statements were confirmed, and no accusations were proven. Yet the conversation continued evolving, shaped more by emotion than evidence. The story had become less about what allegedly happened and more about how people reacted to the possibility that something might have happened. By this stage, it was clear that the resurfaced claims were functioning as a mirror, reflecting public fascination with mystery, power, and unresolved history. Even without facts, the narrative continued growing because it tapped into deeper feelings of distrust, loyalty, and curiosity. Fans are shocked not just by the rumors themselves, but by how easily speculation can dominate discourse when silence and imagination fill the gaps. As the situation continued unfolding, the intensity of public commentary reportedly reached new heights. Online communities claimed that the alleged leaked footage, although still unveiled, had sparked fresh waves of debate about motives, timing, and the personal stakes involved for everyone connected to the story. Fans are shocked by how quickly what started as quiet whispers escalated into heated arguments across social media platforms, forums, and live chat streams. The resurfacing claims reportedly forced audiences to revisit past controversies, reinterpreting old events in light of the new speculation. Commentators suggested that the focus on 50 Cent and Big Meech's brother created a unique dynamic. According to discussions circulating online, 50 Cent's influence in entertainment and public culture meant that even vague or indirect references from him were interpreted as meaningful signals. Supporters insisted that he was being unfairly pulled into the narrative, while others argued that his involvement, intentional or not, added legitimacy to the renewed attention. Emotions ran high as fans analyzed everything from past interviews to social media posts, searching for hidden context or subtle clues. Big Meech's brother reportedly became a central figure in both criticism and defense. Commentary suggested that supporters were emphasizing family loyalty and emotional resilience, while skeptics questioned whether resurfacing these old claims was appropriate without verification. The family was left divided in online narratives, with some voices urging restraint and respect, and others demanding explanations, transparency, and accountability. These conflicting reactions only amplified tension, making the story appear larger and more dramatic than any single post or claim might warrant on its own. According to entertainment bloggers, the psychological impact of alleged leaked material plays a huge role in how audiences react. Even without public release, the idea that something hidden exists triggers curiosity and speculation. Fans are shocked by how quickly hypothetical scenarios gain traction, with assumptions about content, motives, and outcomes spreading as if confirmed. Commentators repeatedly noted that this phenomenon highlights how rumor and anticipation can shape public perception as strongly as verified facts. Online, spaces reportedly became battlegrounds for loyalty and interpretation. Supporters of Big Meech's family shared heartfelt posts emphasizing humanity, personal growth, and the importance of context, urging followers not to jump to conclusions. Meanwhile, critics and curious viewers debated the implications, sometimes turning discussions into highly charged exchanges where emotions ran high. The combination of family history, public attention, and alleged footage created a pressure cooker atmosphere where every word and gesture was scrutinized. Entertainment analysts reportedly pointed out that the resurfacing claims had broader cultural implications. They suggested that the situation reflects a recurring pattern. Powerful figures, controversial legacies, and unverified reports inevitably combine to produce intense public engagement. Fans are shocked by how discussions that start with speculation can evolve into widespread debates about morality, loyalty, and the responsibilities of public figures. Emotions ran high as audiences tried to make sense of narratives that blend history, rumor, and interpretation. Rumors also suggested that private discussions among production insiders and family associates were becoming more cautious. Anonymous sources quoted in commentary claimed that participants debated whether responding to the growing speculation would calm audiences or escalate controversy further. One alleged voice reportedly stated, "If we don't," address it, the narrative will be taken over by assumptions, while another reportedly argued, "Any direct response could create more tension than it resolves." Although these accounts were widely discussed, adding another layer of drama to the story. Fans continued dissecting subtle hints, minor statements, and even casual interactions on social media, all in search of confirmation or insight. Some viewers argued that reading into these signs was natural, given the unresolved history and emotional stakes. Others warned that overinterpretation could distort reality and unfairly affect those involved. The family was left divided, not only by past controversies, but by the interpretations of millions of online spectators, each projecting their own perspective onto the situation. 50 ongoing presence, even indirect, reportedly intensified public interest. Followers monitored his posts closely, searching for clues or coded messages, while speculation about his intentions continued to fuel online debate. Some supporters argued that silence should be respected, while others insisted that every public action, no matter how small, is inherently connected to the resurfacing claims. This tension created a cycle in which commentary itself became part of the narrative, driving discussion and emotional engagement without any official confirmation. That as days turned into weeks, fans reportedly noticed how quickly misinformation or partial interpretations could spread. Commentary often blurred the line between rumor and assumed fact, with each new post reigniting debates about credibility, loyalty, and personal motives. Emotions ran high as people struggled to separate what might be true from what was purely speculative, resulting in a constant cycle of questioning, defending, and reinterpreting the story. The alleged leaked footage reportedly acted as a catalyst for broader discussions about accountability and public image. Commentators claimed that any figure tied to such a controversial history is subject to heightened scrutiny, and that the resurfacing of old claims, even as commentary, creates a pressure-filled environment. Fans are shocked by how intense reactions can be, even when no concrete evidence is presented, highlighting the emotional weight of historical narratives. Mixed with current speculation, some online observers reportedly emphasized that the situation also illustrates the power of collective imagination in shaping entertainment discourse. Fans speculate, debate, and even create narratives from fragments, often elevating rumors into phenomena with their own momentum. The family was left divided not only by the history of events, but by the ways audiences interpreted those events. with some narratives emphasizing loyalty, others controversy, and many blending the two. Meanwhile, commentators reported that live streams and discussion panels became increasingly dramatic. Participants passionately debated the ethical and emotional implications of resurfaced claims, the role of public figures in fueling discussion, and the responsibilities of viewers consuming rumor-based content. Emotions ran high as hosts and fans alike grappled with whether the story should be approached as entertainment, commentary, or ethical dilemma. This ongoing debate created a continuous cycle of speculation, analysis, and reaction that kept audiences engaged day after day. As the commentary continued, fans reportedly became more invested in hypothesizing possible outcomes. Some suggested that the leaked footage, real or imagined, could alter public perception of long-standing legacies. Others argued that speculation alone would never have a lasting impact without verified events. The tension between curiosity and skepticism heightened emotional engagement, ensuring that every rumor, response, and social media post became part of a larger narrative that captivated audiences. Even with no confirmation, the resurfacing claims reportedly transformed discussions into intense examinations of loyalty, reputation, and personal responsibility. Fans are shocked by how quickly online speculation can dominate cultural conversation, turning potential stories into full-scale public drama. Emotions ran high as millions followed every development, projecting meaning, forming alliances, and debating morality, making the narrative about public perception as much as about any alleged footage itself. The situation reportedly highlighted how deeply audiences connect with stories that intertwine legacy, power, and controversy. Every new rumor sparked fresh waves of debate, and even indirect commentary from influential figures fueled speculation. The family's private history, long intertwined with public fascination, became a battleground of interpretation, leaving supporters and critics in constant dialogue. Emotions ran high as audiences weighed loyalty, curiosity, and accountability, demonstrating that even commentary can shape the perception of history as powerfully as any confirmed event. As the resurfaced claims continued to dominate online discussion, the intensity of public interest reportedly reached unprecedented levels. Commentary suggested that even without confirmed evidence, the alleged leaked footage had reignited long-standing debates about loyalty, accountability, and the personal stakes involved for everyone connected to the story. Fans are shocked by how quickly speculation evolved into widespread conversation, with emotions running high as audiences interpreted every post, statement, and historical reference through the lens of renewed controversy. Many online commentators highlighted how the situation blurred the line between rumor and perceived reality. Some viewers treated unverified claims as fact, while others approached the discussion with caution, emphasizing the importance of distinguishing between speculation and confirmation. The family was left divided in public opinion, with supporters defending the privacy and reputation of those involved, and critics insisting that questions needed to be addressed for clarity. This tension created an emotionally charged environment where every new development sparked renewed debate. 50 Cent's indirect involvement reportedly continued to fuel speculation. Fans closely monitored his social media activity, analyzing subtle posts and timing for potential meaning. According to commentary, even vague statements or unrelated content were dissected as possible responses to the resurfaced claims. Emotions ran high as audiences debated whether his silence reflected strategy, indifference, or concern, turning inaction into another layer of dramatic interpretation. Big Meech's brother remained a focal point of discussion. Supporters emphasized resilience, personal growth, and the right to control one's narrative, warning that speculation could unfairly damage reputations. Critics, however, insisted that resurfaced claims, even as commentary, warranted scrutiny and public conversation. The family was left divided as emotions ran high both online and in private circles, with some insiders reportedly concerned that ongoing discussion could strain relationships and reopen wounds long thought settled. Rumors circulated that private conversations among production staff, family associates, and insiders grew increasingly cautious. Anonymous commentary sources suggested that debates centered on how to manage public perception, whether addressing speculation would calm audiences or escalate tension, and how to protect those involved from unnecessary scrutiny. Statements reportedly included warnings that silence could allow narratives to spiral out of control, while overexposure could amplify controversy. These alleged discussions, though added another layer of drama to the unfolding story. Fans reportedly began analyzing minor cues, social interactions, and even old interviews for hints about the truth behind resurfaced claims. Some argued that interpreting these signs was natural given the history of controversy, while others cautioned against projecting intentions onto ambiguous material. The family was left divided in the public eye, as every gesture and statement was subject to interpretation, keeping speculation alive and conversations emotionally charged. Entertainment. Analysts reportedly suggested that this situation reflects a broader pattern of public engagement with rumor-driven narratives. The combination of powerful names, Historical controversy and the idea of hidden footage creates a compelling story, even when facts are unveiled. Fans are shocked by how quickly engagement escalates, and emotions ran high as audiences balanced curiosity, skepticism, and loyalty while forming strong opinions based on incomplete information. Social media reportedly amplified the intensity. Posts, edited clips, and commentary threads spread rapidly, often blending historical context with recent speculation to create highly charged narratives. Fans dissected every detail, creating their own interpretations and amplifying drama. Emotions ran high as supporters and critics confronted each other, defending loyalty, questioning motives, and debating the ethics of public speculation. The family was left divided, not just by past history, but by the ongoing interpretations of millions of viewers. The alleged leaked footage reportedly also prompted renewed discussion about accountability and public image. Commentators emphasized that anyone tied to controversial histories must navigate scrutiny, whether justified or not. Fans are shocked by the emotional impact of rumor and commentary on real people, illustrating the power of perception in shaping narratives and influencing cultural conversation. Emotions ran high as the audience tried to make sense of competing narratives, projections, and assumptions, making the story about perception as much as the resurfaced claims themselves. Live streams, discussion panels, and online debates reportedly became increasingly dramatic as moderators, fans, and commentators grappled with the implications of the resurfaced claims. Ethical dilemmas, loyalty, and public responsibility were debated passionately. Emotions ran high as participants discussed whether the focus should be on entertainment, commentary, or the potential consequences of rumor. This environment ensured that speculation, debate, and analysis remained constant, sustaining audience engagement. Fans reportedly became deeply invested in hypothesizing possible outcomes. Some suggested the leaked footage, real or imagined, could change public perception of legacies connected to the BMF history. Others insisted that speculation alone would never have a lasting impact without verification. This tension between curiosity and caution kept discussions alive, making every rumor, comment, and social media post part of a larger, ongoing narrative. Even without confirmed evidence, the resurfaced claims reportedly transformed public conversation into intense scrutiny of reputation, loyalty, and moral responsibility. Fans are shocked by how speculation alone can dominate discourse, creating a dramatic atmosphere in which emotions ran high, and every new development was dissected for hidden meaning. The story had become as much about perception, interpretation, and audience engagement as it was about any alleged footage. The situation reportedly highlighted how deeply audiences connect with stories entwined with power, legacy, and controversy. Every new rumor sparked fresh debate, with online communities interpreting events, statements, and gestures through personal and collective lenses. The family was left divided in the public imagination, caught between loyalty, curiosity, and accountability. Emotions ran high as audiences debated, projected meaning, and shaped narratives, demonstrating the extraordinary power of rumor and commentary in driving modern entertainment conversation. Throughout this ongoing scenario, it became clear that the resurfaced claims had transcended their origin. Even in the absence of verified events, the alleged footage and speculation generated widespread engagement, emotional debate, and complex interpretations. Fans are shocked by how rapidly public opinion formed, and emotions ran high as audiences navigated a narrative that blurred the lines between reality, rumor, and perception. The family's private history, public fascination, and the weight of controversy combined to create a spectacle that captivated viewers, illustrating how commentary alone can shape stories, influence reputation, and dominate cultural conversation in ways that are impossible to ignore. As this dramatic situation continues to unfold, fans everywhere are still grappling with questions, rumors, and speculation surrounding the alleged leaked footage and its connection to 50 Cent and Big Meech's brother. Whether real or purely trial-driven, the story has already reignited debate about loyalty, family, and the weight of legacy. Emotions ran high as supporters and critics voiced their opinions, and the family was left divided in the public eye, making it impossible for audiences to look away from each new update. The conversation has become a cultural spectacle, blending curiosity, controversy, and the power of interpretation. You can see how quickly online communities reacted, dissecting every detail, analyzing every social media post, and debating what might have happened. Fans are shocked by the intensity of reactions, and many are left wondering how such resurfaced claims can dominate public attention without any official confirmation. Speculation alone has shaped public perception, creating a dramatic environment where every rumor feels significant and every statement, even silence, carries weight. Now, it's your turn to join the discussion. What do you think about these resurfaced claims? Do you believe they could impact the legacies involved, or is this just another example of rumor and commentary taking on a life of its own? Do you see 50 Cent's actions as strategic, or are audiences reading too much into subtle gestures? Share your thoughts in the comments below and let your voice be heard. If you want to stay updated on every twist, turn, and developing rumor in the world of entertainment drama, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Every comment, reaction, and discussion helps keep the story alive. And your perspective matters as much as anyone else's in shaping how this narrative continues to unfold.